The villagers gather in a tight circle around the ancient statue, their murmurs rising and falling like the wind through the trees. The air is thick with unease, their eyes darting to the stone figure as if expecting it to move at any moment. The sun dips low, casting long shadows that stretch across the gathering. Amina steps forward, her feet light on the earth, heart pounding. The whispers of her ancestors echo in her mind, but her curiosity pulls her closer. She can almost feel the weight of their warnings against disturbing the statue, against tempting what was better left forgotten. But something within her refuses to listen. The statue calls to her. Her brother Kofi stands at her side, his hand gripping her arm. "Amina, don't," he says, his voice low but urgent. "The spirits have slept for centuries. You don't know what you're asking for." Amina shakes him off, her gaze fixed on the stone figure. "It's not about asking, Kofi. It's about knowing." The ground trembles beneath their feet. A soft, deep vibration shakes the earth, like a breath exhaled from the stone. The murmurs of the crowd hush to a terrified silence. Something ancient stirs beneath their feet, an energy older than the village itself, awakening to the touch of Amina's resolve. Kofi's eyes widen. "What have you done?" he hisses. "The earth speaks of danger." Amina turns to him, her eyes fierce. "I need to know the truth." With a slow, deliberate motion, Amina steps forward and places the honeyed yam at the base of the statue, offering it to the spirits who once protected the land. The yam's sweet scent fills the air, mingling with the tension of the moment. The villagers watch in frozen horror. This is no ordinary offering. This is a pact, a choice made in the name of a power they do not understand. A low rumble stirs the ground beneath them. The statue's eyes, once dull and lifeless, begin to glow with a faint, eerie light. The earth trembles more forcefully now, and a deep voice rises from the stone, a voice that has not been heard in generations. "Why have you come?" the statue asks, its voice a deep, resonant rumble, carrying the weight of ages. "What is it you seek?" Amina stands tall, her heart racing. "I seek the truth," she says, her voice steady despite the fear that tightens her chest. "Tell me what you know. Tell me why the spirits are trapped." A wave of shock ripples through the crowd. The villagers gasp, muttering among themselves, remembering the old legends, the stories told by their ancestors, warnings passed down through generations about disturbing the statue after dark. There are tales of curses, of spirits angered by the living, and of a terrible price to pay for knowledge sought from the stone. "Do you not know?" the statue intones, its voice almost sorrowful. The price of such a question? Amina's eyes narrow as she stands before the ancient figure. "I know the cost, but I'm ready." Kofi pulls at her arm again, desperation in his eyes. "Amina, no. Don't do this. It's not worth it. You don't know what this will bring." The pause. Villagers' voices rise, some urging her to stop, others murmuring that the truth should remain buried. But Amina is resolute. She takes a deep breath, facing the statue with a courage that runs deeper than the fear gripping her people. "I must know," she says softly, but with unshakable resolve. "I must know the truth of our ancestors." The statue's eyes blaze with an intensity that makes the villagers flinch. A deep, thunderous rumble shakes the earth once more. "Very well," the statue says, its voice trembling the ground beneath them. "The truth is a heavy burden. It is not for the faint of heart. The pact you seek to understand binds more than the spirits. It binds your fate to the land. You are the one who has disturbed the balance. You are the one who has awakened what was long forgotten." Amina's heart skips a beat. She has awakened something far older than she could have imagined. The truth is not what she thought it would be. It is something darker, something that will change everything. But she stands firm, her decision made. She must confront the past, no matter the cost. Amina sits by the fire, the flickering flames casting shadows that dance across her face. Her grandmother's voice echoes in her mind, telling stories of the statue and its ancient power. Stories passed down through generations. The statue, silent for centuries, holds secrets no one dares to uncover. It is a symbol of the past, of a time when the world was simpler, when the balance between the living and the spirits was unquestioned. But Amina feels the pull, the stir of curiosity growing within her. She wants to know more. What lies hidden in the stone? What truths have been buried with it? The weight of her grandmother's warnings presses down on her heart, but the fire in her soul burns brighter. There's a mystery she must solve. She leans closer to the flames, the soft crackling of the wood filling the air. The whispers begin. The villagers speak in hushed tones as they gather around, their voices heavy with fear. Some say the statue's curse will come for those who disturb it. Others speak of the price, an unknown cost that always comes with meddling with ancient forces. The elders caution against venturing too close to the statue after dark. The stories are clear. Once awakened, the spirits do not forget. Amina listens, her heart racing. The tension in the air is palpable, thick with the weight of old fears. The villagers have lived in fear of the statue for as long as anyone can remember. Their lives are caught between the world of the old ways and the encroaching modern world outside. A world that promises new opportunities but threatens to erase the traditions that have kept them grounded. Ngomo is at a crossroads. Change is in the air, but not everyone is ready for it. Amina's curiosity only grows. The whispers of fear from the villagers do nothing to quell her desire to know more. She has heard the stories from her grandmother, but something inside her tells her there is more to the statue than even those ancient tales reveal. What is the truth? What is the statue really hiding? The thought consumes her, pushing her to the edge of her own understanding. She cannot ignore the call of the stone any longer. Caught between her grandmother's legacy as a healer, one who upheld the sacred traditions, and her own desire for the truth, Amina feels a tug in her chest. The choice is hers to make, and, though her grandmother's warnings echo in her mind, her resolve hardens. There is a legacy of knowledge buried in that stone, and Amina is determined to uncover it, no matter the cost. Standing before the statue, Amina takes a deep breath, her fingers brushing against the weathered stone. The air around her is thick with the tension of generations, the weight of untold stories pressing down. She knows the rules, knows the consequences, but something stirs within her, a deep desire to break free, to challenge the ancient boundaries that have held her people in place for so long. She steps closer, her heart pounding. The village holds its breath, waiting for something to happen, and then the earth beneath her feet trembles just slightly. A low rumble fills the air, and the statue's eyes begin to glow faintly, like embers stirring to life. The voice that rises from the stone is like nothing Amina has ever heard. It's deep, ancient, and filled with an echo of power that shakes her to the core. "Why have you come?" the statue asks, its voice reverberating through the ground. The villagers gasp, their faces stricken with fear. The statue has spoken after all these years. The curse, the legends, they are real. Amina stands tall, her eyes fixed on the glowing eyes of the statue. "I seek the truth," she says, her voice steady despite the fear swirling around her. "Tell me what has been hidden. Tell me what you know." The village stirs in shock, the murmurs rising in a crescendo. This is a breaking point, one that no one foresaw. The ancient silence has been shattered, and now Amina must face the consequences of her choice. The statue's eyes flare with an otherworldly light. Do you understand what you seek? It asks. Truth is not a gift. It is a burden. It comes with a price. Amina feels a chill run down her spine, but her resolve does not waver. I am ready, she declares, her voice strong, a spark of defiance burning within her. I will pay whatever price is necessary. The statue's voice deepens, a low rumbling that fills the air. Very well, but know this. The truth you seek will change everything. You will not return as the person you were, and the cost will be more than you can imagine. Amina stands in silence, the weight of the statue's words settling around her. She has made her choice. There is no turning back. The village falls into a heavy silence, the air thick with tension. Every eye is on Amina, whose decision now feels too large to bear. The statue's eyes glow faintly, its ancient voice echoing in her ears. The weight of the moment presses down on her, but still she stands firm. The villagers watch, waiting for the storm to come, unsure whether to believe what they're witnessing. Amina's resolve falters for only a second, but then she inhales deeply, grounding herself. She takes a step forward. The voices of doubt and fear rise in the background, but she ignores them. Tell me the truth, she commands the statue. What of the spirits that protect this land? What secrets have they kept from us all these years? The stone stirs, the ground vibrating beneath her feet. The statue's eyes glow brighter, its voice deep and slow as if it had waited eons for this question. Do you truly wish to know, child? The voice reverberates in the pit of her stomach, heavy and full of a power that seems to shake the very earth around them. The spirits are not to be trifled with. Their knowledge is a burden, not a gift. Amina's pulse quickens. The stakes are higher than ever, yet her need for answers, for truth, outweighs the warning. I am ready, she says, her voice unwavering. I have to know. The statue's voice deepens, more ominous now. You are young, and the knowledge you seek will change you. The spirits will take from you more than you can understand. Your heart will grow heavier with every truth you unearth. Amina's heart pounds in her chest, but her feet remain planted. Fear swirls within her, but determination cuts through it like a blade. The mysteries that have lingered in the village for centuries cannot remain unanswered. Not now. Not when everything is changing. Tell me what you know, she demands, her voice strong yet tinged with desperation. The world is not the same. We cannot survive if we remain bound to the past. The spirits, the statue, it all has to change. The village will not thrive if we hold on to old ways while the world moves forward. The words hang in the air, full of weight and challenge. The villagers murmur, uncertainty rippling through them. The ground trembles again, a low, rumbling hum that rises from deep within the earth. And then Amina's uncle, Kwaku, steps forward. His voice is firm, stern. Enough, Amina! He moves between her and the statue, his body blocking her path. You do not understand the dangers you are provoking. There are forces that we do not control. Amina looks up at her uncle, defiance in her eyes. The village is dying, uncle, she says, voice low but filled with resolve. We cannot keep relying on the old ways to save us when everything around us is changing. The spirits have their place, but we must find our own way, or we will fade into the past. Kwaku's face hardens, and the villagers fall quiet. The weight of his years, the many seasons he has seen, the many lives he has led, all lie heavy on his shoulders. You do not understand the cost, he says softly. Your grandmother warned you. There are truths you are not meant to seek. But Amina does not back down. I am not afraid, she says. The village is dying in silence, You cannot save it by holding it in the past. A tense stillness falls between them. The statue, watching them both, lets out a deep, rumbling sigh, as if aware of the conflict between the generations. The ground trembles once more, and the voice of the statue cuts through, the air like thunder. The child speaks with fire, it says, but the fire she seeks may burn everything she loves. The knowledge you seek comes with a cost, a price that none of you can fathom. Kwaku's face softens, and his voice quivers with quiet sorrow. I remember, he begins, when others too sought the answers. The elders before us, they thought they could change the course of time, but they could not, and they paid the price. Amina's heart skips a beat, a chilling realization washing over her. What happened to them? She whispers, suddenly understanding the gravity of what she is facing. Kwaku's gaze drifts downward, as if he can see the ghosts of those long gone. They found the answers they sought, he murmurs, but they lost more than they ever imagined. Their bodies withered, their minds cracked under the weight of what they learned. And the spirits, they never forgave them. The words settle in the air like a dark cloud. Amina's breath catches in her throat, the full weight of the decision she's made crashing down on her. But despite the warning, despite the fear in her uncle's eyes, she steps forward once more. I cannot live in the shadows of those who fear change, she says softly, but her voice carries the strength of 1,000 decisions made. I will face what comes. If the price is to learn the truth, then I will pay it. The village cannot remain chained to what it once was. The statue's eyes flash once more, a final warning echoing in the air. Then be prepared, for the cost of truth is greater than you can imagine. The spirits do not forget, and they do not forgive. Amina stands firm. The choice has been made. She has chosen to seek the truth, and now there is no turning back. Amina stands before the statue, her heart thundering in her chest. Fear gnaws at her, but her determination holds steady. The village, with its ancient beliefs and secrets, rests on the edge of a precipice, and she knows she must push forward. Tell me the truth, she demands, her voice strong but laced with uncertainty. What is the real cost of the spirit's protection? The air grows thick with tension. The statue's stone features remain impassive, but the ground beneath her feet shudders, as if the earth itself reacts to the question. A deep, rumbling voice, ancient and hollow, breaks the silence. The truth you seek comes with a heavy burden, it warns. You do not understand the weight of the past, nor the price of uncovering it. Amina's breath catches. The ground trembles more violently now, and she digs her heels into the soil, refusing to step back. I am ready, she says, her resolve hardening like the stone before her. I must know. The statue's voice lowers, echoing through the village like a forgotten memory. The spirits that guard your land are not protectors. They are prisoners, bound by the very pact your ancestors made in blood. And that pact, child, is the root of your village's power and its curse. Amina's pulse spikes. The earth seems to tilt beneath her, and for a moment the world feels distant. The truth begins to unfurl in her mind, and the weight of it is almost too much to bear. Prisoners? How can that be? The statue's face remains still, but its voice grows even deeper, like the pull of a forgotten abyss. In the time before the village, your ancestors made a pact with the spirits. One, forged in blood, they sought power, protection from the forces outside, and in return, they shackled the spirits to this land, trapping them in service to a village that grew strong on their suffering. Amina's mind reels. Her body trembles with disbelief. The village's foundation, everything she has been taught to believe, was built on lies. Her hands clench into fists, the earth beneath them still shaking with the force of the revelation. "This is a lie," she whispers, her voice breaking. "This cannot be true. Our village, it cannot be built on betrayal." The statue's voice grows sharper, like a blade cutting through the fog of confusion. "It is true, and now you must decide. Will you continue the legacy of betrayal and lies, or will you break the cycle and free the spirits, knowing the price will be steep?" Amina's mind races. The spirits, the protectors of their land, the very force that had kept their village safe, were not the benevolent beings she had always believed. They were prisoners, bound by the greed of her ancestors. The truth settles on her like a heavy cloak, suffocating her with its weight. "Why me?" she asks, her voice trembling. "Why now?" the statue answers, its voice now tinged with an eerie calm. "You have disturbed the balance. You're questioning your demand for truth. It has awakened the spirits that have long slept, and with their awakening, the truth will no longer be hidden." As Amina grapples with the enormity of the truth, a shift stirs within the village. Some begin to murmur in fear, while others begin to question. A rift forms. One group, driven by fear, holds on tightly to the traditions they have always known. The other, emboldened by Amina's courage, wants to seek the truth, no matter the cost. Amina's uncle Kwaku steps forward, his face stern and grave. "You do not understand, Amina," he says, his voice filled with years of wisdom and sorrow. "This truth is a curse. We are mortals. We cannot bear the weight of the spirit's anger." But Amina is resolute, her heart heavy with the knowledge that the village can no longer remain in the shadows of the past. "The world is changing, uncle," she says quietly. "The village cannot hide from the truth any longer. We must face it, no matter the cost." Kwaku looks at her with a mixture of fear and disappointment. "The old ways are all we have left. If we lose them, we lose ourselves. The spirits will not forgive us for what we have done." Amina's mind churns with the burden of the choice. She understands now the village cannot survive in the lies of the past. The traditions that have kept it alive are the very chains that bind them. To move forward, they must confront the truth, no matter how dangerous it may be. As the sun sets, casting long shadows over the village, Amina returns to the statue. The village is divided and her heart aches as she walks toward the stone monument. This time, there is no offering of food, no plea for the spirit's favor. She faces the statue, her eyes filled with understanding and sorrow. "I see now," she whispers, her voice breaking. "The spirits were prisoners, and their suffering has kept us alive. We built the village on their pain, and it is a debt we must now repay." The statue stands silent, as if waiting for something. Amina takes a deep breath, steadying herself. She steps forward, not with offerings or prayers, but with the acceptance of the truth. "I accept this burden," she whispers to the statue. "I accept the weight of what we have done, and I will face the past to move forward." The ground falls still. The statue, unmoving, seems to acknowledge her words, as if releasing a breath it has held for centuries. The truth is out now, and Amina knows there is no going back. The village will either rise from its lies or be swallowed by them forever. And the choice, ultimately, lies in her hands. The statue stands silent, unmoving, its ancient face carved with secrets that have remained hidden for centuries. The weight of its stillness presses down on Amina. Her heart races as she stands before it, the truth it has shared still swirling in her mind like a storm. Her hands tremble, and she feels the earth beneath her feet grow heavier with every passing second. The revelation she has uncovered, the spirits, the betrayal, the pact, feels as though it is not just a burden on her, but on the entire village. The air is thick with the weight of the unknown. Amina wonders how the villagers will ever bear what has been revealed. She knows that truth is never easy, but this truth could shatter everything. The statue, an embodiment of wisdom, has unveiled both the light and the dark, showing her the cost of seeking knowledge. And in her heart, Amina understands that what she now knows cannot be undone. Truth, she murmurs softly to herself, her voice barely a whisper. It is not good, nor evil. It is simply what it is, an unyielding force that shapes us for better or worse. In the silence, the weight of those words lingers, as if the earth itself is listening. The village's foundation, its very survival, was built on this truth, on the secrets and lies of the past. The spirits were never protectors, but prisoners bound to the land by a blood pact forged in desperation and greed. That truth, Amina realizes, has been buried under generations of ignorance, carefully concealed by the very ancestors who once sought protection. But now the veil is torn, and with it comes the painful understanding of the betrayal that has kept the village safe and the cost it has demanded. Amina knows that the villagers cannot remain blind to the truth any longer. The price of ignorance is too high. Yet, as the weight of the past presses on her, she also feels the pull of tradition. The old ways have sustained the village for centuries, but they were never whole, never pure. They were built on sacrifice and deception. She takes a deep breath, gathering the strength to face the future. The old ways must evolve, she understands now. The wisdom of the past is not in the preservation of lies, but in the ability to adapt and grow. Change does not mean destruction, it means evolution. The spirits who had been trapped in their ancient prison had once been revered, but now the village must seek a new path, one that honors the past, but is not shackled by it. The weight of the decision is heavy, yet Amina knows that change is the only path forward. The villagers must now choose. Will they cling to the comfort of ignorance, burying the truth once more to preserve the past? Or will they embrace the painful reality that has been revealed to them? The village is at a crossroads, and the future of Ngomo rests in their hands. Some will argue for the old ways, for the security they've always known. But others, like Amina, will push for a new dawn, a future where the spirits are freed, where the village is no longer built on the sacrifices of those who came before. Amina's heart aches with the weight of the decision, but she knows it must be made. Her role in shaping the future is clear. Now, it is no longer just about uncovering the truth of the statue or the spirits, but about what she will do with this knowledge. She is no longer a passive observer in the village's history. She is the one who must carry the torch of change, even when the darkness that it reveals is frightening. Amina stands tall, knowing that the next steps will not be easy. The village will fight, resist, and struggle. But in the end, they will either break free from the lies that have held them captive, or they will be bound to the past forever. And as the weight of the truth presses down on her, Amina steps forward, ready to face whatever comes next. She does not know what the future holds, but she knows that it is hers to shape. The future of Ngomo lies in her hands. The choice is hers, and she will not turn away from it.